Right now, at the 2026 World Cup, there is this player who is quite literally breaking the statistical models that we use to track human athletic performance.
Yeah, breaking is putting it mildly.
Right. I mean, he's scoring goals at a rate where the algorithms are literally flagging it as a data error. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking into this Norwegian glitch in the Matrix Erling Haaland.
It really does feel like a glitch sometimes, you know?
Yeah, it totally does. But we aren't just going to sit here and read off a list of staggering statistics. That's boring. We are tearing down the architecture of a human anomaly to find out, how exactly do you build a machine like this?
Because the statistics, they're really just the symptom. The fascinating part is the underlying biology, the psychology, and the specific environmental pressures that manufactured him.
Exactly. And to get to the bottom of this for you, we're pulling from a pretty diverse stack of sources today. We've got a football blog that's tracking all his historic milestones, an independent article dissecting his early tactical development, a Hindustan Times piece exploring his hometown roots.
That one's really interesting, by the way.
Yeah, it really is. And we also have a Times of India feature revealing a hidden athletic lineage at this very World Cup, plus an Economic Times report that breaks down the literal neuroscience behind his mindset.
It's a really compelling cross-section. I mean, we are looking at genetics, developmental psychology, specialized coaching, and evolutionary biology, all converging on one single individual.
Right. So our mission today is to extract that exact formula.
Yeah.
Figure out what we can all apply to our own relentless Tuesday mornings.
Yeah, we could all use a bit of that.
Definitely. So let's start by establishing the sheer scale of the anomaly here. Just to give you an idea, he is the fastest player ever to reach 50 UEFA Champions League goals.
Which is insane.
Just 49 games. He currently holds 18 separate Champions League records. He was the quickest to 100 goals for a single club in Europe's top 5 leagues, which took him just 105 matches for Manchester City. And right now, he is just tearing through the 2026 World Cup with 7 goals in just 4 matches, literally pulling Norway to their first ever quarterfinals.
It's unbelievable. And when you look at an output like that, the natural assumption is innate prodigy.
Right, like he was just born that way.
Exactly. You assume he was born this fully formed superstar who just arrived on the pitch destined to shatter records.
Which is where that Hindustan Times piece completely flips the script.
Yeah.
Because we have to contrast this global dominance with his origins at this club called Bryn FK in Norway.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly glamorous.
No, not at all. They have this indoor turf facility, and on the wall there's a picture of a young Haaland with a local slogan. It translates to, "We will sow joy of football, nurture talent, harvest miracles."
Yeah, and Miracle is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
Seriously.
Considering his early days were, they were a slow, grueling burn. It wasn't instant success.
Right. According to his youth coach, Espen Undheim, you'd have a 10-year-old Haaland scoring a goal in training and being visibly furious about it.
Just one goal.
Yeah. He'd march up to the coach and demand to know why he wasn't scoring 4 or 5. He was taking these meticulous notes on his own positioning, and he'd spend his weekends entirely alone in that indoor arena for hours.
Hours and hours.
But here is the data point that completely stops you in your tracks. Are you ready for this?
Hit me.
He makes 16 appearances for Bryn's first team at age 15, and he scores exactly 0 goals.
0 goals in 16 games as a striker. I mean, that completely shatters the child prodigy myth, doesn't it?
Okay, let's unpack this, because this is wild to me. It's like a video game glitch. If a teenager is playing 16 matches against grown men and fails to put the ball in the net even once...
Not even a lucky tap-in.
Right. So we are looking at some innate magical touch. If he scored 0 goals, is his current success less about being a prodigy and more about just sheer blunt force obsession?
Oh, absolutely. His time at Bryn wasn't about scoring goals at all. It was about building a bulletproof work ethic. Greatness usually starts in this prolonged, unglamorous incubation period.
So the groundwork is outpacing the actual results.
Exactly. Building a tolerance for failure is arguably more important in elite development than early success. His teammate, Sondre Norheim, he pointed out that the 15-year-old Haaland played with absolutely no fear against fully grown men.
Which is crazy for a kid.
Right. He was taking heavy physical hits, getting knocked down by players twice his size, and just making the runs anyway. He was laying a massive foundation of psychological resilience.
Wow.
The goals weren't there, sure, but the neural pathways for relentless effort, they were being hardwired into his brain.
But sheer blunt force obsession is kind of a double-edged sword, isn't it? I mean, at Brine, running through brick walls built his resilience.
Yeah.
But if you do that at the elite level, you don't become a star.
No, you become a medical liability.
Exactly. You burn out or you get horribly injured. He needed a way to channel that frantic energy.
You can have the biggest engine in the world, but if the transmission can't transfer that power to the wheels efficiently, you're just going to burn out the clutch. He really needed mechanical refinement.
Which brings us to a fascinating pivot in his career. At age 16, he moves to Molde to work with manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ah, yes, the turning point.
And the Independent article highlights how incredibly frustrated Haaland was during this period. I mean, he was missing chance after chance in training.
Just blasting it everywhere.
Hitting the crossbar, firing straight at the keeper. He was like a drag racing car trying to navigate a tight Formula One track.
That's a great way to put it.
He had massive straight-line speed and power, but the moment he had to maneuver in the tight spaces of a penalty box, the wheels just came off.
Well, he was relying on raw exertion rather than anticipation. And in football, exerting maximum energy at the wrong millisecond is worse than doing nothing at all.
Right, you're just wasting energy and ruining the play.
Exactly. Solskjaer recognized that he didn't need to rebuild the engine, he just needed to upgrade the steering.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because this is like upgrading a blunt hammer into a surgical scalpel. And Solskjaer does this by giving him what Haaland calls easy rules.
Easy rules. I love that.
Yeah, he doesn't hand him a textbook on spatial geometry or anything. He just tells them, stay calm, stay on your toes, and anticipate where the ball is going to be. Just basic foundational mechanics.
Sounds too simple.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to understand how simply staying on your toes translates to 18 Champions League records.
Yeah.
Like, is his current record breaking just him applying those fundamental rules on a massive repetitive scale?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, think about the biomechanics of being flat-footed versus being on your toes.
Okay.
When your heels are on the ground, your kinetic chain is basically relaxed. If a ball deflects, you have to shift your weight, load the calf muscle, and then push off.
Which takes time.
Right. That process takes a few tenths of a second. By staying on his toes, Solskjaer taught him to keep his calf muscles constantly preloaded. He removed the loading phase from his reaction time completely.
Oh, wow. So he's literally shaving fractions of a second off his movement just by doing that.
Exactly. And those fractions of a second, that is where elite careers are made. Solskjaer also shifted his mindset from reacting to anticipating.
Because if you're reacting, you're late.
If you are reacting to the ball, you are already late. Solskjaer taught him to read the defender's hips, the midfielder's eyes. It was a complete tactical calibration. True mastery isn't about complex tricks.
Right.
It's about executing basic fundamentals perfectly under extreme pressure. Solskjaer didn't rebuild Haaland, he calibrated him.
And the payoff was instantaneous.
Yeah.
I mean, in a match against Brann, Solskjaer just tells him, be ready. And what happens? Haaland goes out and scores 4 times in the opening 20 minutes.
4 goals in 20 minutes.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It makes you realize that he took that raw, fearless obsession, forged at Brine, and focused it, through the lens of elite biomechanics.
Solskjaer provided the software update that allowed the hardware to run efficiently.
But that begs a massive question for me. A software update only works if you have the computing power to handle it.
Very true.
You don't get to be a 6'4" powerhouse who sprints like a winger just by learning to stay on your toes. We have to look at where this unmatched physical hardware actually came from.
And this is my favorite part of the story.
Same. And the Times of India gives us an incredible clue here, hidden in plain sight on the back of his 2026 World Cup jersey.
Yeah, the decision to wear Braut Haaland on the international stage, it is a highly specific, deeply personal choice.
Because most of the world knows him simply as Haaland, which is a nod to his father, Al Finch, who played in the Premier League.
Right, the media loves that narrative.
Oh, they eat it up. The son following in the famous father's footsteps. But for Norway, he wears his mother's family name, Braut. His mother, Gry-Merete Braut, was a Norwegian heptathlon champion in the 1990s.
And when you look at the demands of a heptathlon, suddenly his physiology makes complete sense.
It really does.
The heptathlon is, it's the ultimate physiological contradiction. You are asking the human body to excel in disciplines that actively oppose one another biologically.
Right, because you have explosive events like the 200-meter sprint and the high jump. But then you also have the 800-meter run, which demands incredible aerobic endurance. It's like building a perfectly bred racehorse.
Exactly. From a cellular perspective, you are trying to maximize fast-twitch muscle fibers for that explosive power, while simultaneously building a massive aerobic base with slow-twitch fibers so you don't just collapse from exhaustion.
Which is usually impossible, right? Athletes usually specialize in one or the other.
Usually, yes. But what Grimerita Braut possessed and what she passed down to her son is this exceptional, rare, cross-disciplinary athletic versatility.
She even practiced athletics with him when he was a kid. The source notes that when Haaland was just 5 years old,
Yeah?
he set a world record for the standing long jump in his age category, jumping 1.63 meters.
At 5 years old, that's absurd.
You don't do that at age 5 just by kicking a football around the yard.
No, you don't. That is a profound genetic baseline being activated early. The specific physiological combination required for heptathlon is actually the holy grail for a modern striker.
How so?
Well, you need the fast twitch burst to accelerate past a center back, the sheer muscular power to hold them off, and then the slow twitch stamina to still make those explosive runs in the 89th minute of a grueling match.
And this runs so deep in the Braut family. I mean, his grandmother, Inger Ose Braut, was a track star. His cousins Jonathan, Albert, and Emma are all professional footballers.
It's a true dynasty.
It is. Meanwhile, Grimerita intentionally stays completely out of the media spotlight. So when I see him wearing Braut on the biggest stage on earth, it feels like a targeted acknowledgement.
I agree.
Is wearing Braut his deliberate way of forcing the world to acknowledge the real source of his physical superpowers?
Without a doubt. It redefines how we view his athletic inheritance. The football pedigree from his dad is visible, sure, but the cellular machinery that allows him to dominate the sport, that was forged on the track and field.
Okay, so we have this perfect physical machine. The obsessive foundation from Brian, the tactical calibration from Solskjaer, the heptathlete hardware from his mom.
The complete package.
But here is the inescapable reality of biology. Eventually, the battery runs down.
Always does.
Every single human body produces lactic acid. Every muscle eventually runs out of glycogen. When this perfect hardware hits its physical limit, what keeps it moving?
That is where the hardware has to be manually overridden by the operating system. You literally have to hack the brain.
Which sounds like science fiction, but the Economic Times piece dives into the neuroscience of this, and it is fascinating. Haaland has this incredibly simple mental mantra. When he's in agony during a workout, he just repeats, "I'm not tired."
Just that simple?
Yeah, he pushes his heart rate to 150 beats per minute in training, looks right into a camera, and explains that he does it simply because it's good for my mind. He fundamentally believes the body can handle significantly more than we perceive it can.
Now, I know it sounds like typical macho athlete bravado.
Totally. No pain, no gain kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right. But there is a very real, well-documented neurological framework backing this up. Specifically, it's called the psychobiological model of fatigue, which was proposed by researcher Samuel Marcora.
Oh, the central governor theory.
Yeah.
The idea that athletes don't actually stop because their muscles mechanically fail, but because the brain decides the discomfort is too high and shuts the system down.
What's fascinating here is that we have to view this through the lens of evolutionary biology.
Okay.
Your brain's primary directive is to keep you alive, period. If you are a hunter-gatherer expending maximum energy, your brain needed to ensure you always kept a reserve tank of energy to run away from a predator or, survive a famine.
So it holds you back on purpose.
Yes. The brain acts as a hyper-conservative governor on an engine. It starts screaming at you, sending severe pain and fatigue signals long before you are in actual physiological danger.
And there was a study at Bangor University by James Hardy that beautifully demonstrated this, right?
Yes, incredible study.
They had athletes use positive self-talk, and their time to exhaustion improved by a massive 18%. But here is the detail that clarifies everything. Physiological measures like their heart rate and their blood lactate levels remained exactly the same.
Right. The physical state of the body was identical.
So what does this all mean? When muscles work at maximum capacity, they produce lactate, which causes that intense burning sensation that forces athletes to stop. The athletes in the study were working just as hard, their muscles were bathing in the exact same amount of acid, but their perception of that acid shifted.
Exactly. The pain was present, but the suffering was removed.
But wait, I want to challenge the safety of this. Because if your muscles are truly reaching their limits and your blood is full of lactate, isn't it actively dangerous to trick your brain into ignoring those warning signals?
That's a common concern.
Like, isn't this just a form of toxic positivity or faking it that leads to a catastrophic injury?
It would be dangerous if the brain's warning signals were completely accurate. But as we established, the brain is essentially lying to you to preserve a massive safety buffer. When Haaland repeats, "I'm not tired," he isn't being delusional. He is utilizing a scientifically proven efficiency gain. He is manually hacking his nervous system to bypass that conservative governor.
Wow.
The muscles send the distress signal, but the self-talk recategorizes that signal in the brain from imminent danger to just acceptable effort.
So he's just sliding the boundary of failure back by 18%.
Precisely.
And at the elite level, an 18% increase in output in the final minutes of a World Cup match? That is the difference between a good player and a generational anomaly.
He is literally stretching the limits of human endurance